What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Servidiohs. I'm Austin, and this is my boy Sam. Today, we got some pretty interesting topics that we want to talk to you about, so let's just dive right into it.
All right, what do we got here? Now, this is a trailer review, Toxic Avenger.
Fun fact, the movie's actually been around and made for years. There was some sort of weird legal battle with the original production company for the Toxic Avenger, if I'm not mistaken, to where this movie was actually shown to a lot of fans at a fan expo. So this movie's actually been shown before. It got a lot of high praise. So I'm just thankful that it got the green light and is finally coming into the public eye, because there are a lot of big names behind it. Peter Dinklage
Peter Dinklage.
and
I tried
right.
to imitate him just now.
No, it kind of sounded like him. You did pretty good. And then Elijah Wood, man, Frodo Baggins, you know, the immortal guy. And that's he's one of those actors. I love seeing the memes, just like Daniel Radcliffe, to where like same with Mark Hamill, to where like they got the role of a lifetime early, so now they're just doing side quests.
Oh, that's hilarious.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like now they can just do whatever they want, because they're always going to get paid off of Frodo. Frodo is immortal. Harry Potter is immortal.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things.
And he was even the voice, not Elijah Wood, but who'd you just say? He was the Joker's voice.
Mark Hamill.
Yeah, so you got to be fucking Star Wars and the Joker?
Yeah, Andy did multiple iconic roles. But yeah, no, I think the movie's going to be great. I like that they're goring it up. I liked the original Toxic Avenger movies. I watched those as a kid. They were on Netflix back in the day. I remember watching those, and I liked them a lot. I thought they were great. The cheese definitely gets cheesier as you go on. But, I mean, it's about a guy that gets dipped in toxic waste at that point. The reality is already out the window.
There's certain movies that you could go into when the director is purposely doing it cheesy, it actually gets pulled off well. Like stuff like Cocaine Bear or something.
Embrace it more. You know what I mean? Because they know what to expect. Yeah. Like, okay, this is going to be so outlandish. Exactly. Cocaine Bear, for sure. Yeah, one of those movies that was so outlandish but got crazy praise. And I think that's what this one's going to be. And like I said, it's already technically been out for years. It's just finally got the release. It's
really?
Yeah.
Okay, because I watched it, I don't know, a couple weeks ago or something. So what I watched was out years ago?
Yeah, they made it a couple of years ago. And
that's crazy.
It's been stuck in this creative hiatus.
Toxic Avenger.
I think it's going to get 2 thumbs up. Honestly, the gore is going to be cool. The cheese is going to be good. And I'm already expecting crazy, cheesy chaos. So it's already 2 thumbs up for me.
I'm going to watch it. I'm just going to make sure I'm not eating like some messy foods like saucy spaghetti. Like, you know, like when somebody get their head bashed open, you're like...
Yeah, I saw like his whole jaw, like all that's gone. It's going to be cool, man. I like how they're going in this direction. And I'm going to be honest, at first when I found out about the film back when it was getting into production and they were announcing the cast, I didn't want Peter Dinklage to be the Toxic Avenger. I just didn't, just because that's how he takes his roles, is more like seriously. But after seeing the trailer, he seems to be having fun. Like he's more lighthearted with it, and that's a side of Peter Dinklage. At least that maybe there's other roles I haven't seen, but like that's a side of him that I'm glad we're gonna see, is a more like caring, funny kind of side instead of that serious kind of tone. You know, it's gonna be cool.
I liked him in X-Men Days of Futures Past.
Yep. He's cool in that.
That shit was dope. Little ass, punk ass, motherfucking ass. Why should I tip a cashier like when I'm like at the place getting my food and all they do is just hand me the food? You know, like we're going into this tipping culture where they spin this shit around and they don't even say leave a tip. They'll just like answer a few questions, return the package.
Yeah, there are some places where I feel it's justifiable. Like Jesus.
Yeah, Austin. Yeah.
Like for example, Subway, Jersey Mike's, or like when you go get like ice cream or something, to where like that person's making something for you and they're having a conversation as you go down the line. You know what I mean? So they're at least putting in the effort. But no, I get that when you go somewhere and they do nothing but sit there and turn the thing, and you got the people in the back making everything. It's like now. Is there a tip the people in the back button?
Yeah, do you all share this, or is this going to you little
I get that. There are some things that I don't like to tip on, and I don't want to be disrespectful about it by any means. I tip my delivery drivers, and I tip the people that are actually making the food. But if you're just standing there like like there's this place I go to order because on Tuesdays they have a special where their spaghetti dinner is like $6.99 or something. So it's the two big ass meatballs, you know, a whole dinner. You get the bread, a whole shebang. So you've
That's a good meatball.
no, it seriously. But whenever I go there, they hand me the receipt and they're like, okay, here's your cup. If you could just sign here, and it's like, I'm not tipping you because I'm just coming to pick it up. Like
there's no extra shit that you deserve for doing what you're already supposed to do.
It's like now if you give me the puppy dog eyes, I might just cave. You got to get it out of me in a sense of like, you know, how's your day going? Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, blah 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 blah. All right, have a good rest of your day. Yeah, just something like that, man. You gotta sucker me into it, then I'll do it. But if I'm standing there, man, and you just stand there and they're like, all right, man. Most of the time, I do.
You ain't getting shit. I ain't even paying for this. You're giving it to me for free.
Could you imagine going to McDonald's and as you're going through the drive-thru, they ask you for a tip?
Yeah, you know what? Holy fuck, I'm using that. See, because when that whole tipping culture thing started happening, I would just like, I'd be put on the spot, and I just want to be a nice guy, so I'm like, $1, $2, you know? And then I started getting like tip fatigue because it was everywhere I went. It started getting annoying, and then I started paying attention to the fact that nobody's actually doing shit that deserves this damn tip, you know? And then I started seeing it online. People were like, yo, why are they making this a thing now? So I just wanted to talk about it on the show. Comment below and let us know if we're right, we're wrong.
Yeah, and how you would feel if fast food restaurants asked for tips at the drive-thru window. How would you feel about that?
Yeah, AI, will it take over? Will it take our jobs? Will it destroy the world? What's your take on AI?
Depending on which developers get the right software and what they choose to put it in, I feel like AI could either be a very beneficial thing for society or a horrid thing for society. There have been plenty of films that have highlighted the dangers of AI.
Terminator.
Matrix. Things like that. And it's a scary thing. And I think maybe those films have already put the fear into us to maybe keep us from pushing the boundaries that will cause those types of things.
Or telling us what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, no, because there have been a lot of things in cinema that have actually come to fruition. You got all those people. The Simpsons did it. You know what I mean? True. So even if they don't mean to do it, it's just, what's that famous quote? I think it's life imitates art.
Yeah. Or art imitates life.
It's either. Yeah.
So it's just,
it's one of those back and forth kind of things to where like they like unintentionally play off of each other.
Dude, if some shit like that, like Terminator. Well, I'm sorry to go off a subject, but it's still kind of on subject. When I said Terminator and you said The Matrix, it was this lady. She ended up suing. The Terminator is a prequel to The Matrix. So when the machines actually take over and they dominate the human race, they end up putting the humans and incubating them through pods and stuff like that. So it's actually all one thing.
Oh, yeah. Pretty cool.
That's crazy. I mean, I don't know if it's that's true, but I know she won in court and she wrote the movie. So if she's saying that that's what the point is, then that sounds legit to me, right?
Yeah, no, and
that's that AI gonna kill us all.
I think with our things is this. We're inadvertently trekking into a territory that's going to cause the creation of a new life form. And I think the big thing that is going to either save us or destroy us is if we're going to be compassionate enough to give them the same rights that we have and let them live.
Shit, that movie, Electric State, it just came out. It's with Chris Pratt.
Shoot, even in Star Wars, droids don't have rights. And I mean, what kid wouldn't? You want an R2 unit, you want a BB-8 unit. Even though the sequels aren't that loved, you know you liked BB-8.
Would you have a wife AI droid?
I mean, shoot, if I was that desperate, I mean, I guess if my life came to that.
If they're like, here's a Megan Fox.
No. I just
maybe it would
for
be
me,
weird,
I would really want that C-3PO kind of like robot companion. Like I just really want that buddy. You know what I mean?
What about Optimus? The Elon Musk robots that like help around the house?
Yeah, I mean those would be pretty cool. AI is one of those things that it's either going to work or it's not. And I think as long as we harness the power properly and do things respectfully, and if something does come into sentience that has the same type of feelings and emotions that we do, we have to embrace that and we have to let them live.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I think they're already trying to plant that and push that into our heads already. Like, if you watch, like, Electric State and, like, all these other films that had, like, AI scenarios, like, even that movie called AI, it was about that kid from Sixth Sense. They gave him feelings. Now, if you actually generate and create something that could freely think, then it is kind of like its own person, and then it could be resentful. It could be a scary scenario. So when it comes down to people talking about, like, will it take over the world, and what he said, yeah, if bad people, abuse the shit out of it.
Yeah, because you got to think of it this way, man. If a military tries to use that and tries to,
and they will,
this machine that takes over, who's to say it's going to be like, oh, you think you're in control now?
Yes,
I mean, you know what I mean?
Skynet.
So
yeah.
But sorry to cut you off there, bud.
Oh no, it's okay. I'm used to it. So like, no, I'm just kidding. As far as AI, like, let's get off of the whole, like, taking over the world thing. Let's just something other scary stuff, but not as scary. AI taking your jobs. AI won't take your job, but a person that learns AI will take your job. So don't be like the horse and buggy people when the cars were being invented and just stick with the horse and buggies. You got to adapt, man, because that's how we do as people. We evolve as we go. So when it comes down to that, learn it, embrace it. Everybody's, like, on a race to do it. And I have, like, side little theories on why, like, the whole world is racing to be, like, the achiever of the, top AI stuff because of population crisis. But that's a story for another time. But as far as that goes, learn it and use it in your benefit. I mean, sooner or later, yeah, it's definitely going to be taking jobs, man. I mean, right now, we can go to kiosks at McDonald's and order it, and then somebody just hands me the food, So... And I actually have less mistakes with my food because of that. So if that's the case, man, bring on that shit. Because, like, I want my BLT correct. But as far as, like, the wars and all this stuff, yeah, we're racing for it. And then all the world powers are going to try to have the deadliest, most baddest AI they can possibly have. And I know, like, Israel and all that stuff, they actually... they do, like, a lot of, cybersecurity, and they're integrating AI into cybersecurity. So, shit, if that shit starts having its own brain and decides to start hacking on its own and doing things on its own, it could Skynet us. Who knows? So, I guess only time will tell. You kind of set me up for this Jabroni of the week. You kind of made it make sense, but I'm still going to call them the Jabroni. This goes to Disney. They ruin classics. They constantly do remakes, and they're checking all the woke boxes. I just want to escape and watch a story. Just let me watch a damn story. I don't want to be lectured about stuff. Like what you were talking about while I was bringing that up is because you said they have to kind of do remakes, and sometimes they shelf them and they re-release and stuff. So that part. But the woke boxes, like ruining the stories. I'm not a fan of, like, switching races because I would be pissed if there was, like, a white Blade. When I was a kid, I liked Blade. That was, like, one of my favorite comic films. If you made him Chinese, I'd fucking lose my shit. Don't change the race of anybody. Just create a different story. The best example, Miles Morales. Actually, he's my favorite Spider-Man. Dude's dope as hell. They didn't say, this is now Peter Parker. They just said, all right, there's now a Miles Morales, and they wrote a story behind it. Loved it. Superman... When he died, they had 4 other Supermen come. They had the Metropolis Kid, the Man of Steel, Man of Tomorrow, Last Son of Krypton. Loved it. They didn't replace, this is the new Clark Kent. So Disney, stop doing that shit. All you're doing is stirring up the pot. You're causing race tensions. And then get original, because you're just constantly doing remakes. Even though you kind of said earlier.
And not just that, but if you're going to do a remake... Why don't that's the thing that makes me irritated about remakes is it's not that they're remaking a movie and it's like the animated Disney film that we know. They're bringing it into live action, which is not a problem. There are a lot of things that would look cool in live action. But if you're going to do it, just use the story to the T from start to finish. Why do you have to add some new elements and things like that? Oh, this didn't work. This doesn't look like that. Then if it didn't work, then don't make the movie in live action. I know the live action Lilo and Stitch, though it had some success, it had a lot of criticism behind it because a lot of people felt like it didn't have the same values and messages that the original film had, and it was missing the big villain Gantu, the big alien that was tracking him down. He's not in it at all. Man. The main villain is Jamba. And he has no, like, redemption arc. He's still the bad guy. And yeah, just if you're gonna do it, just do it in a way that like still tells the same story with the live action feel. It's not that hard. You don't have to make everything fit the times to have success, because at the end of the day, everybody loves nostalgia. Everybody lives on the past. Everybody thrives on things that they grew up with, or something that's going to remind them of the good old days. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
You don't really have to make anything new. And if you do make something new, have some callbacks to things, and don't let the original stuff down. The Star Wars sequels. Biggest one that I want to bring up here is there was a lot of potential, and I think I have a theory that it's going to be redeemed the same way that the prequels were redeemed, with a lot of like filler stuff and things here. And I think in time, even though they were a bit of a wreck, I think a lot of people are going to love them, and it's going to get the recognition that it once deserved. Because there were some cool elements. There was a lot that they should have done, but they just didn't try to do anything too original. They tried to reuse the same tropes from from the original trilogy and implement it. Like, my biggest complaint is Luke Skywalker. You can't kill something like that, man. And if you're gonna do something like that to where he's the most optimistic Jedi that did everything he could to save his father from the Sith, you find out your nephew is Sith, and your instinct is, I'm just gonna go kill him. What?
That's your family, bro.
And not just...
Well, I mean, he already fucking had to fight his dad.
But it's just like, you were so optimistic about there always being a redemption, and everybody can be saved. You didn't even attempt to save your nephew. That's so like weird. And Mark Hamill himself doesn't even like it. So if you're going to do things, try to be original, and try to use the blueprints that are there. There's so many books and things that were written after the Star Wars original trilogy came out that continued the story that was great. Luke had kids. There was a bunch of stuff. There was a dope Jedi Order. There were new villains. And it just missed opportunities. You don't have to reel the nostalgia in so hard. Don't use the nostalgia against the people. Use it in their benefit.
Hell yeah. And dude, you know what? That was a passionate jabroni, because that was a jabroni subject, and we went off. You know what? That serves you right, Disney. Fuck you, Disney. Make good movies. All right. So you want to close the show out?
Yeah, man. Like always, guys, remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that bell so you can always get notified of when we're coming on and giving you guys good content. At least we think it's good content. Make sure to stop at the Servidiohs.com to get any of the dopest merchandise that you think you would rock out and look good in. And always remember to just brush your teeth and wipe your ass. Now remember, you didn't see this. Now get out of here.
You wanna buy the merch? Get it now. Get it all. Get a hoodie. Look goody in the mall. Now you roll up on the mob looking good like you bought all the stock. And the shock when you show 'em what you got. Hey man, where'd you get that shirt?